All right. So now this question is, are you in your life purpose? You've heard people like Young Furrow talk about it. I'm sure other people have done it as well, but that's when it comes to mind. I think RFG Chosen ones probably talked about it. So your life purpose on your natal chart is where you see that horseshoe, looks like a horseshoe. Now it should have an aura. If yours doesn't have an aura, it usually means trouble, some type of trouble, some type of dysfunction. Welcome to Real Life and Metaphysics. So we won't be out here too long. But bottom line is, you want to be in your true life purpose. And if you fight against it, the universe will start to really mess you up. Now, the true north node is in the second house. That's all about money, possessions, and your value system. So your true life purpose is to be involved with these areas. But then it's in Cancer. Cancer is ruled by the moon. So that's going to be a nurturing effect. Somewhat of a psychic effect. Could even be a watery effect. So there's going to be emotions there. And Cancer rules the fourth house of family. But it starts off with like teenage to adult education. So this person probably will be educated. That's a true life purpose. And education is not always going to a school somewhere, but they're going to be highly educated, knowledgeable. Now, it does deal with land and property. So at some point in this person's life, they probably will come across some type of land, property, or real estate situation. The fourth house also deals with family and ancestors. So that is his life purpose, to be around family and ancestors. And again, if his education might deal with that. Then the true life node also, true north node life purpose also deals with the heart. So this person may have like heart concerns or health heart concerns, but even like a might be very caring person, or they may have heart trouble. And then also the fourth house deals with vehicles as well, so they may have concerns with vehicles or travel. Now, the fourth house is also the Imam Coeli in the fourth. Imam Coeli in a subconscious. So this person will have some type of motherly situation, motherly connection. Could be literal mother, the divine mother, but it's going to be some type of motherly connection. Now, ironically, since Cancer rules the fourth house, you want to go over to his fourth house. And there you have it again, Virgo in the fourth house. So now, I happen to know that this person's mother is a Virgo. So he's going to have a connection there. And as soon as you see like Pluto in the fourth house, that's usually like a soul connection, soul families. And then he has Pallas there as well. Pallas helps you see patterns, but Pallas does a lot. So I don't want to get too deep into that. But now in a home, so this is going to be like a home dude. He can't get past, like I said, people can come by and say, oh, look at this dude, ah ha ha. But that's your purpose. And you don't know how many times this dude may have tried to get out of it because he didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he didn't have his natal chart 10, 15, 20 years ago. But you don't know how many times he's tried to go against it. But it's going to be what the universe wants. And you're just going to keep getting knocked on your ass. And if you wonder, why do I keep getting knocked on my ass? Every time I think I'm going to get out of this situation, I'm back in this situation. And people are going to talk shit. You just got to get used to it. Because this dude's going to be home. It's going to be a lot of feminine stuff there. A lot of sensitivity there. Because you see it on the chart. And again, it's only bad because of the way we perceive things. So like if you see a man crying out to God, you go, what a wimp. Get up. Get up. Get your shit together, man. But your God is saying, well, that's a great place to start. You're on your knees. You're surrendering to God. And if you understand God, the feminine side of God, you have to read Proverbs chapter 8, shows you the feminine side of God. And John chapter 3 is really all about that feminine, that motherly side of God, also called the night. Also called the darkness in the Bible, the evening, Eve, the mother of all living. See, when you get into higher metaphysics, it'll make more sense to you. But I don't want to go too deep with it, but I'm just trying to show. And then it's that whole Mother Mary thing, too, because that's the Virgin, a Virgo. But I'm just getting ready to upload this video. Then give me a second. I'll get right back into it. All right. Give me a sec. I just want to upload this video. And that's what I said. It could be a female problem, because a female, she might see that and say, "Oh, this guy, boom, boom, boom. He's too close to home. He's too, boom, boom, boom." But that's his true life. That's why I said I'm not out here to play games. Because you have people, oh, what's this? And then they get it, but they don't really want to study it. They don't really want to analyze it. It's like little kids. It's like somebody whose house is just filled up with stuff. They may have brought it one time. They may have worn it one time, and then it just goes into a room, and they just keep buying and buying and buying. Now, don't get me wrong. It's a beautiful thing if you got that kind of money. But the logic behind it, there is no logic behind it. Because you're buying all this stuff. If you've ever worn it one time, you're doing good. And your house is filled with stuff. So you see that a lot out here. It's like, oh, what's this and what's that and what's that. So you want the interest is good. The interest is commendable. But you want to get it, like I'm always tell you, sit down, pen and paper, and start to study it so you can learn it. But that's the one thing they don't want to do. It has to be some type of like a little kiddie thing. And that's why I said that these people on like 3rd grade levels. It's got to be, oh, you talk to me and blah, blah, blah. No, learn how to get somewhere quiet and study. That's how you get your brain working. That's the whole process of having a brain. But we're in a world that dumbs us down, and most people are happy being there. So if you just like to, like if you're real good with manipulating, you'll do great. But it has nothing to do with actually really learning. It's all about manipulation and marketing. And you see some people out here are masters at doing that. So going back in, so Virgo's all about home, health. So that's why I say he probably will have some health concerns. Service. This person always be service minded. Could be small children, small animals, occupation, or subordinates. But Virgo can be highly critical. So if he uses that in a good way, he may be real good with critical analysis. So, but he wants to use it in a good way. That critical energy of Virgo, detail oriented, he wants to use that in a good way. Now, when you do the 2nd house, you might want to go right across. Because opposite his 2nd house, really, some people are going to say, yeah, it is the 8th house. But now the 8th house is all up. I don't want to go too deep with the 8th house. But see, you notice two things. See, according to his chart, he's got somebody coming if she hasn't already come. But it's coming right off that whole 4th house. You see that Juno? And it takes him right into the 5th house of relationship. Because that a partnership, relationship. But it's coming off the 4th house. That's something you have to really understand. And it's still going to be some type of soul situation. Like soul family. So that's in his true purpose. So that's the main thing he would need to see. From the 2nd house and the 4th house. Off of that is coming this 5th situation. And it's funny because the 2nd house is going to take you to the 8th house. And the 5th house takes you to the 8th house. And then when you look at the 8th house, the main thing you want to notice is his serious relationship is Sagittarius, which will probably be something that has to do with a foreign country or a foreign person. And there goes the moon. And that's his moon sign is Capricorn, which is like an old soul. And it's kind of implying that that person will probably be an old soul too. So they will he will have in his later life, he will have that serious relationship with this person. But if you know, but see, Juno's coming right out of that 4th house. And it's kind of implying he has to go back to being a playful. It's weird because he has to go back to being a playful Leo in order for this to happen. But then you got Mars right there. So he's not going to get past the competition or the battle of Mars. And then that takes you back to his 1st house. So me looking at this chart, I would say he's probably going to meet this person earlier in life. Because you got the whole Gemini. And Gemini can be when the relationships don't really work out. And they're going to have a struggle. Maybe a little too much immaturity because of Leo is immature. And it can even be a battle with spirituality because Vesta tries to be spiritual. But that would be a deeper study for this chart. But they're going to meet again at a different time in the Sagittarius energy in the 7th house, leading into the 8th house. And the 8th house is like really serious about metaphysics. See, like I said, the person, that's what I was trying to tell y'all a long time ago. Sometimes a person, they have to get into metaphysics. Like you might wake up first. You might meet your twin soul, but they're just way too immature. See, once they get into metaphysics and start studying and understanding life purposes and stuff, they'll be a totally different person. But until they really get into that, that's why I said you have to study. All that little kitty shit I keep telling them about, you're only doing damage to yourself. And that's why I don't endorse it. I could benefit from it, but I don't endorse it because I know it's not really, that's the worst mistake you can make. As long as you stay on that little kitty, that silly stuff, that marketing stuff. And that's why all these relationships be failing. Because the people ain't mature enough to be in a relationship. So, shows that person maturing more. But the time frame, like I said, is different. I know it has a lot to do with the motherly figure here. Because if you notice, Juno don't happen to the almost the end. You understand? Juno's not really, it's in the 4th house, but it's really moving into the 5th. So that's a time frame. And all this is planned out, but you can tell it's all connected to the soul because you have Pluto. And this chart says that this person will have some type of career in really metaphysics or spirituality. Because Capricorn rules your 10th house. And in 10th house, you see Pisces, which is really like spirituality. Serving others, kind of, but it's still like a spirit. The connotation is spiritual. And then he's got to deal with areas he didn't heal from. But we know the areas he didn't heal from because all you got to do is look at this chart. Chiron retrograde, areas he didn't heal from. It takes you back to Capricorn, that rules the 10th house, and there goes the moon. And Sagittarius is on the border, just like Juno is on the border. So with this person, it's going to be like a lot of healing they don't have, and they really going to have to. That's why it's essential that she grows up. It's because it ain't going to work. As long as she stays where she's at, it ain't never going to work. Because you can see there's a lot of things that need to be healed, and there's a lot of complications. It's definitely mother issues there. It's all kind of stuff. And just so y'all know, I see the name Uriel all over the place, but that's Uriel, the Archangel, and Uranus, because I already said on my chart, I wrote this a while ago, and I said Uranus would play a major part in bringing this person in my life. And you keep seeing it everywhere I go is Uranus, Uriel, or Sagittarius. And you see Sagittarius is in the 7th house, because that's when that person finally is more mature for a relationship. And the reason why they talking about small kids and stuff, because they're probably talking about that person because they got kids and stuff. So you can't mess with, like I said, you can't mess with this. You see it all in all. And then the 9th house again is Aquarius, helping the community. But I would have to do that again because I found out a lot of stuff about Saturn retrograde. But see, that's what I'm trying to tell you about abuse, past life abuse. That's why sometimes when you see your twin soul, it's so much y'all can't get along with Jack, but there may have been past abuse. So you can see that on the natal chart. So that's why I was offering to do the whole chart as a service for people interested in that. You could request that service, but you can see on your chart where there was abuse, and that could be another reason why twin flames don't get together and stuff, or it takes a hard time for them to get together because it's past life drama. And you can see you can tell by this chart it's a lot of past life drama too. So again, you have to man up. What am I trying to tell you? To really man up, that means you have to be where the universe puts you. You can't be worrying about what people think. You can't be worrying about what people say. Because you can try to run away from your true north node. But like if your true north node puts you with family, that's where you're going to be. And you can run and they just going to keep knocking you down and bringing you back. And like I told you, I knew from when I was young what I was told. And I still remember what I was told. And that's why when I was just a kid, we would be at this big, it's a giant auction called Englishtown Auction. And my mother would be with my sisters just shopping. And I would like be by myself. But I would be all in that auction by myself. Because back then you could let your kids walk around pretty much. You don't do that now, no. But back then you can. It's a long time ago. And everybody would wonder, how could you find your mother in that auction with all them people? Because that place was huge. But that's what I'm trying to tell you. Is you see it in the true north node. It is what it is. So you can be metaphysical and listen to the universe and the spirit, or you can listen to idiots talking trash. But like I said, but that's why I stood over their coffins. None of their coffins ever stood over me. Because these people, they're idiots. That's why I don't waste my time. I'm just being honest. They know so much, but if you know so much, why are you dying early? If you know so much, you kind of should be living longer because your knowledge should help you live. What does he say? My people perish due to lack of knowledge. So in other words, God equates perishing with the fact that you really didn't know God. You really didn't know his ways. So the Bible gives a length of life. Even the scriptures say, honor thy mother and father. It's promised for a length of life. Once again, universal knowledge. So that's what you got to teach, and people don't want to hear it. But that's why I said they got to make their own way. But all you're going to do is build and lose. And that's what Ecclesiastics is about. What good is... Michael Jackson said it best. If you can't afford the baby, you don't have the baby. What good is doing all this stuff and you can't even take care of it? So when you do it God's way, it's a little bit different because you're going to have God's help. I just got finished doing a thanks and praise worship. This guy, the way he was praising God is like God bless his family with gold. He got his family at, I don't want to say the nation, but his family was in a nation where they could have got killed. He got the family out, he got married, they got property in different locations. He was just thanking God. Because praise and worship and learn how to trust in God is always going to be the answer. All that other stuff sound good. But like I said, when you got master teachers, but then they end up incarcerated. So what good is that? You're a master teacher. So how the heck did you get yourself locked up? You know, it could be fake or whatever. But you got to really dig into things. That's what I'm trying to take. So I like to take in knowledge, but then I like to apply it to what my natal chart is saying or what the universe is telling me to do. And I don't care if everybody else don't get it. Because I guarantee the person in harmony with the universe, and even the Native Americans tell you that. We're getting closer and closer to a major change. And the further away you are from the universe, your role, your true life purpose, the further away you are from nature, which is Mother Nature, the less chance you got to survive and what's about to happen. So that's why you want to know your natal chart. You want to approach it in a mature way. Not saying you can't have fun. You can have fun, but you want to make sure you're bringing your life in harmony with your natal chart, and you want to make sure you're in your true life purpose. Because again, you're crying, where's my twin? Where's my twin soul? Well, you may not be with your twin soul because you're out of purpose. You're out of your life purpose. Now, looking at this, where will my twin's purpose be according to this chart? Okay. 5th house, 7th house primarily, but the 7th house takes you into the 8th house. So you have to be with the Leo, but you have to be in a relationship with the Leo. It's simply put, you can't get away from it. You got the 5th house ruled by Leo, and then you got Libra, or the 7th, that's partnership, relationship. And then Vesta is always going to add an element of spirituality. But Vesta can also bring intensity. So you can tell these are going to have some problems. But I believe, and I'm going to prove it right now. See, when they meet, it's going to be a lot of drama because of her, the Aries energy. A lot of competition, a lot of drama, just silly stuff. Now go to the 3rd house. And if you notice the 3rd house, there's Leo again. And you say, yeah, that's Venus and Mercury. But that's not who they're talking about. They're talking about the person I was with for 8 years. I already did that on another chart, so I'm not gonna do that again. Because me and her had no communication. My twin. And then Uranus is known for being like a rebel, an upheaval, something sporadic. And then it's letting you know that's because of some type of soul situation. So you know this is gonna be an erratic twin flame meeting. So she's gonna be a handful. But at some point, she's gonna get that Sagittarius energy. And there goes Aquarius. But I keep telling you, Aquarius already told you, Uranus, or Uriel. I'm gonna work it out. So 9th house, which is ruled by Aquarius, they're still there. But they're kind of trying to tell you why there's so much trouble between you two. Because of that Saturn retrograde. But again, if both people could just sit down and kind of understand it, they could kind of deal with it instead of acting like fools. So that's what I'm talking about. So don't get mad at anybody else if you're having problems with your twin soul or soul, whatever you're doing. Or you got to hold yourself accountable first. Don't get mad. Don't even get mad at that person, even if that person's a pain in the ass, because maybe you did something to them in a past life. Somebody was trying to tell me that a long time ago. So don't get mad. You got to hold yourself accountable. And then sometimes you just got to wait on the universe. That's why I said take it to prayer. The archangels say call on the archangels or pray, do something. But I just showed you what's going on. A lot of animosity there. And if you see where the Uranus is, it goes right over to the Aquarius. If you see that line going across. So all this stuff is planned out. All of that stuff is planned out. And sometimes no matter how sincere you are, you still have to learn to wait on the universe. Because just because you're sincere or you're heartbroken, that don't mean anything's going to change. Sometimes it's just a matter of patience. And to me, this is more a matter of patience. Because I always said, how the hell you going to grow with anybody if they don't talk? And that's something she definitely wasn't trying to do. At all. Unless it was on some war shit. Alright, this is Get. I'm out.